there, this is Liz from Trellis and I welcome you to another video. So I'm a dyer behind the Trellis Yarns. My name is Liz. I'm based in Athens, Greece, and today it's the 18th or the 19th. I would say, I will look at my phone and say the 18th. Yeah, I would have said the 19th, I guess, but well, we're the 18th and it's a Monday, and today is the first day that the shops have officially opened in Greece. And this morning I needed to get some stuff, so I woke up very early on and I got, what did I get? Well, I had to go from the bookstore, but I needed some pens and inks for my printer, but they didn't have. And like, okay, from all the inks, the ones that are for my printer are not available, and who knows when there will be available again. Yeah, so how lucky. Yeah, I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate, thank you. But it's okay, like, I mean, it's not a high priority, but it's still a bummer because it's really cold. Well, like a week ago we had 22 or 18 degrees with the sun, and okay, it was like chilled, you know. But since 2 days ago, in the near mountains of Athens, so actually the mountain that I can see from my balcony is all snowed out, and it's really beautiful to see. But it's like the cold, it's so sudden, and I think it really hit us. Like from 18 degrees, now we're like to 3 degrees, and I'm like, what the hell? And so yeah, and actually now I'm looking outside of my balcony and I can't even see the mountain because it's probably snowing or raining or whatever. Everything is, yeah. And so I went for shopping. So I went to the bookstore, but for supplies, paper supplies. I wanted to take a book for a friend, but because I'm not sure if he has got it, I was like, I will just check first, because he has an upcoming birthday. So if he doesn't have it, you know, I'll just ask his girlfriend or whatever. But I think it's a book that he would like. Anyways, other than that, I needed some PJs and stuff. And because so when I was outside, it was just like the half an hour that the shops were open. I was like, maybe now is the time to just go and grab some stuff. So I have new PJs, okay, and some underwear because we all need underwear, you know. And yeah, otherwise I was like thinking, you know, just ordering online, but yeah, while I was out and it was cold, you know, I was like, okay, let's pop into the shop. And I was actually very happy because it started snowing also in the street. So snow, I have very mixed feelings about snow. I really like it. I really like it when it's falling, and otherwise I like to be either inside in a fireplace and have, you know, and be locked down and have knitting and reading and hot chocolate and stuff like that. Otherwise, I want to be just outside and play with it. But what I don't like is, you know, that everything is wet afterwards. So yeah. And now, because, you know, it's not gonna really hold, you know, in the streets, it's just like making everything a mess. But it's really pretty when it's coming down. So I was very happy because I went also and got some art supplies. Yay! Yeah, I didn't get anything, all the things that I wanted, because first of all, they're expensive, and second of all, they're expensive. So I just grabbed a few things that I needed and wanted from the art supply store. And then I went from the studio to write up some of the stock of yarns that I have, and to see what I need to order more, of what things I need to order more, because I'm having pre-orders. And Enzo, stop playing. Sorry. He's playing with the tripod. Come, here. So this is the new toy of Enzo. Instead of biting my arms, he's biting these guys. Yeah! And he's doing much better. Like, I mean, he's a great cat. He's very patient and everything. But he's a young cat and he wants to play and bite, and that's normal. But I don't want him to bite more of my hands, right? Okay, so Enzo, come here and play with this. Okay, so sorry guys. So yeah, I guess he will play multiple times with the tripod, so sorry for that. Yeah. And I decided before starting to do admin work and, you know, order things that I need to and prepare my dining schedule, I decided to do a small podcast. So here I am. Okay. So I have one finished object, one whip that is a new whip that you didn't know. Well, you might have seen it on Instagram if you're following me there. And then I have also one book, and Enzo is still playing with the tripod. Oh my god, it's gonna be a bumpy road, but we're gonna make it. Okay, so should I start with a finished object? Okay, yes, I'm very excited about this. So I finally finished my separate ways. Yay! So this is the separate ways from Jorge Locatelli. It was a design of the interpretation 5, I think. So interpretation is a series of books that Jorge Locatelli with Vera Valimaki have collaborated, and it's usually one per year, and I love them. I think it's the only book of series of books that I do have, and even like sometimes one of them, you know, might not be so much the designs that I like. I really like the aesthetics and they're really nice, and they are published from the Pom Pom magazine, so Pom Pom Quarterly, and this was in my queue for a very long time. I decided to cast on, I don't remember when I cast it on. I think it would probably be early on this year. Well, this year, 2020. I don't think it was before, but who knows. So I'm really happy with it. I finished it. Last time I was really struggling, you know, picking up all these stitches, and I actually just picked them up. I didn't count them to see if I was in the right, you know, stitches or whatever. Sometimes I feel like I have a bit more stitches than she said, but I don't care. I don't care. Well, I think I do have, but when I say more stitches, I mean like maybe 5 or 4 stitches, so I wouldn't start picking them up again for just such a small number of stitches. The one thing that I did a bit wrong, and I wish I had more patience, but I don't for some things, and that's when I bind it off here. I didn't do like a very, you know, great bind off, but I don't care. But here but I know that this sleeve width is a bit larger than that one. So what I would have done now that I'm thinking would be maybe knit this one first, so I knew exactly how much width I'll need over here, and then I would have done this one similar. You know, it's actually quite noticeable if I put them like next to each other. The one is like maybe a centimeter larger, but when you wear the sweater you don't sit. So I'll just strip off my sweater Yeah, I don't know why, how come I didn't wear this one. Oh yeah, I know, because this one has shorter sleeves and today is like freezing and I was outside, so now that I'm inside, maybe I can just wear this one. Okay. So, okay, so sorry that I have another sweater underneath, but whatever, you know. So, even, okay, it's a bit more snug because I have under this sweater like two other sweaters, but I mean, you know, I really like how uh, it fits, you know, a bit higher and it goes lower behind, but this is not, you know, actually really the design. It just how it just that this part is more light than the part behind, so it just folds naturally like that, or at least on me. The other thing is that in the design she does the ribbing in the same last color, so actually my ribbing would have been yellow, but I like to have a bit the blue coming in again. What else? Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't really shows that this sleeve is actually larger than that one because it has this larger part. So actually the sleeves are a bit more snug than the general vibe of the sweater, so you don't really understand it, you don't really see that. And yeah, I really like this sweater. I'm thinking that maybe I would like to have them a bit longer, the sleeves, but they don't really, you know, it doesn't shock me. Like even like that I have the longer sleeved sweater underneath. Maybe because I ended with a darker color, it doesn't really shock me. And this is a darker also color. I don't know. I actually kind of like it like that too. Yeah. I don't know. So, what do you think? I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put again my shawl because I'm a bit cold in here. I just put the heater on, but it's still quite cold in the house. Okay, so the other project that I wanted to show you, it's a work in progress, so a whip that I started. I haven't showed it to you at all, but it is one of my make 9, and it is the untangled shawl. So I haven't printed my pattern because I don't have ink to print it, but I do prefer to print my patterns and have them with me, you know, while I'm knitting. But I'm also using an application. It's called Love Knitting. I might do actually a video about it. Let me know if you want, if you're interested. And it's the only way that I can keep up with my phone or my iPad to knit something. It's the only other way that I will either do, but I do prefer having notes, and because usually when I'm knitting I might watch a course or listen to something, and I like to put notes, you know, like next to the pattern. So usually my patterns are very messy because I like also, very big thing, I like also to, you know, when I finished a row or something, like to scratch it, like done that, and then when there's another page, you know, I like to rip it, and like it's very satisfying for me. And of course then I will be recycling the how do you say, the paper. Yeah, so I'm taking Enzo's toy, so whenever you see me like grabbing this, it's because Enzo is being naughty, you know, either playing with the tripod legs or whatever. Okay, so let's go. The untangled shawl. So I was in the studio last week, and I was looking at, you know, casting on something, you know, and I wanted it to be one of my make 9, and because I've been so much into sweaters and I have lots of sweaters in my make 9, I was like, maybe I can do the shawl in it. And then I was like, it has iron weight, so maybe I'll have it faster, and it's winter, so why not having something, you know, more snuggle and more warm to knit, and you know, probably will go faster, so I'll be happier and have the satisfaction, you know, that it grows and that I will have something made out of my make 9, because already it's been a week that I did my make 9, and I have already new projects coming into my schedule because of release and things to come. So yeah, so at least, you know, I'll be happy if I have at least a few done of my make 9. So the Untangled Shawl by Andrea Maury has 2 colors, and it needs 2 iron skeins of each color. So it isn't that big. I mean, it isn't that big. It is going to be big, but it isn't that much of, you know, meters. Hey, Enzo, Enzo, psst, psst, psst. Yeah, 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 I see, Enzo. Yeah, like crazy. So my 2 colors, I really wanted to have in my Donegal base the Gaia, which I love, and it has a light gray tone, so the colors are a bit darker. I really liked this Bluebeard colorway, and whoever knows me, I really like this colorway. I like it because it's like reddish, but not too bright, not too dark. I really like it. And I also like the original colors that Andrea Maury has, and she has a dark green and a gray with speckles, and I really like that the end part has really big stripes of the contrasting color, which is the darker one. And I chose this because I really wanted this color to be featured, and the way that she puts the shawl, I imagine this color to be more prominent, but I wanted it to be also not muted, not to be too serious. And this color is really nice, and for me it's a bit, you know, it has a mystery, it has depth, it has lust, yeah. So this is the Trellis Lust colorway. Maybe it's because it's Bluebeard, and Bluebeard's story is bloody and lustful, and yeah, I don't know why it is, you know, a children's tale, but most children's tales are actually very brutal. But it is because we need children to learn. So I wanted this to be really showing, but not to be boring, I guess, because like color is power and all. And so I decided to put Bluebeard with the Ugly Duckling, which is another fairy tale, and I just realized, so the Ugly Duckling, it's really similar, it's this mint green, or aqua, I don't know, I would say more mint green, like Suspicious Minds, but it has speckles, so it's the same base color of Suspicious Minds, but it has speckles, and it is the Ugly Duckling. Here, so that is the right side, okay? And actually I'm really happy, like look how much I've done in like a few days. I don't even remember when I started it, but I've worked on it 2 or 3 days, yeah. And in between I rested, I don't know, yeah, but I'm very happy. So it's really cute. It has this short rows ending with the bubble. She advises to do the bubbles with a crochet, and it's really easy with a crochet, so that's how I'm doing it. Then she does some brioche, then again she alternates actually those sections. Short rows with a bubble, then brioche, short rows with a bubble, then brioche. I'm not sure how many times. I think maybe I'll have 1 or 2 more sections with bubbles, and then it has big stripes of the contrasting color of the darker with a smaller stripe of the mint green. So I think that's gonna be really cool. And yeah, I think it looks nice also with my skin. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cute. Ah, how many things I have on me. Okay. I even actually like it like that, like a really small bandana, and I could just, you know, like close it like this and just wear it like that. It's actually so cute. Yes. Or maybe I'm cute. Whatever. Okay, so that's my work in progress that I actually do work. I have also the hat with the bees, but I haven't picked it up because I'm really much into that. And yeah, I really like the rhythm, and it's quite mindless. Like, yeah, for me brioche is mindless, but I'm not saying that, you know, to just show off, but it is a pretty easy brioche because it's just plain brioche with only an increase on this side, as you can see, and it's just a simple one. So if you want something with easy brioche, that's also a good pattern. Yeah, if you want to ask me things about brioche in specific, just let me know. Or, you know, if you have any ideas for me to show you something, just, yeah, let me know. Okay, so that's about my finished project, my whip, and I was thinking of doing a separate video about the interpretations book 7, I think. No? Yeah, volume 7. So that's the interpretation series that I was talking about, that this sweater, The Separate Ways, was, I think, in the issue number 5. I was thinking of doing a separate video about it, but maybe I'll do just now a quick review of the patterns. I did receive it a few days ago, but haven't really actually looked at it, you know, like in detail. So the interpretations, it's called interpretations because it's like two designers and they usually work in a word and they interpret it, you know, by knitting. Like, for example, here they had, I don't know for Separate Ways what it was, but one set did this and so the other did something else. So for example, for the wonder, for the word wonder, Joji made a cowl and Vera did this cardigan. I have to say I like cowls, like the look of them, but sometimes, you know, they're not that high, and because, okay, now I have shorter hair, but I'm very sensitive with my neck. Like, I like it to be a bit more big or warm. So yeah, and sometimes they're too large, so they just flops, you know, they'll hang here, and I'm like, no, I want it more. And it's funny because I don't like actually, you know, sweaters that have a high collar because I find them too suffocating. So it's like, whatever, don't mind me. Okay, so for the word wonder, one did a cowl and the other did a cardigan. So that's the cowl. And that's the cardigan. And I really like, I have to say, from those two, the cardigan, even if it seems for me a bit more intimidating. First of all, cardigan, purling rows with no ends, and just, let's say I'm not fan of purl rows, but lots of cabling, so I think I will either lose interest or will be like, meh, okay, you know, after some point. But from the two, like, if I had to choose, let's say, each time, I think I would have taken the cardigan because I would wear it more. Then we have the word root, and here it is Joji did this beautiful cardigan and Vera did this beautiful hat. I have to say, from these two, I love them both, but being realistic, I would do much more easier the hat than the cardigan. So except of the obvious reason of the purl rows, this is like such a big project that I'm not sure I want it that bad, you know. It's like for me, seeing such a big project, it's like for me, well, I will need that. Might need, you know, 3 other things with all that yarn. So I don't know. Or maybe I'm just a procrastinator. Or maybe I'm not in that phase that I want to do so much big projects. Like this is a really long word again for me. Yeah, whatever. And that's the kind, you know, protector of the realm here talking. So then we have the next word is wild. I like the word wild. So the word wild, so Vera Valimaki did this sweater and it looks like brioche and it's faded. I will search for another picture to show more. And then of course Hohi did one gorgeous shawl, the transition shawl that's also fading. From the both of them, I like both of the projects, but I think the sweater is a bit more innovative, and I like how the sleeves are different colors than the actual sweater, and the sweater has a very light fading, so I find that really interesting. And I think my color mind is more curious about it. Then we have natural. So natural has those two gorgeous projects. I love both of them. I really like the sweater. I'm not sure if you can see the detail over here, and I like that. I like simple details. And this beautiful shawl, it looks like a brioche lace, but you know, one color brioche lace, but I think it would be interesting to see it being done with 2 colors. Like for example, to have one color here that would go in the front also of the project, and then the second color that will go in the back first, and then invert them and then finish in the other color. That would be something that I would like to do. Yeah, that's nice. And I hadn't even thought about the idea. It was like just looking the pattern, you know, in the screen, it makes it, like you said, like in a far more distance. And it's like, you know, a painter who looks at their painting from far away, they might have another idea or change. And I think that's what happened right now. Okay, the next word is beyond. And I really like the shawl because color is power. Yeah. And the sweater is interesting, but I'm not sure I like those, what's the name? These rectangles, this losange. And it's actually also here that it has a triangular pinks. So I find it a bit weird, or I would like that it would be, you know, symmetrical over here. Or maybe it's the construction like that. Yeah, it's the construction. It's actually the same color as here. So it's the same construction, but it doesn't show up so much because of the darker gray. So, yeah. I'm not sure. I have to say. It makes me think a bit of an Arlequin, and it's, I don't know. I think right now, in the phase that I am with my knitting and the colors I like, I can't see me wearing it. And it's always, you know, my personal point of view with my personal style. But maybe at some other point I will be like, oh my god, you could do this with that. And it would probably click in another way. I really find it very, you know, original though, as an idea. But I really like the shawl. And then we have light. And here Vera did this beautiful shawl, but this is like more of a classical shawl shape and drape, and it's not really my style, but it's really beautiful, and with different colors you can do marvels. Jorge has done, I think, a similar stuff than this cardigan. It's really like Jorge styles with these big stripes. I really like the big striping, but again, a cardigan. I feel this book, book, let's say, has lots of cardigans, so no, not much sweaters. Yeah, and that's it. So if you're willing to, I always think that, you know, books like that, like the photography and the patterns are really beautiful, and even if some patterns are not really your jam right now, you know, you might come back and see them and you'll be, this is really nice. So I never feel like, you know, if I get a book like that and I don't like all the selection of patterns that they're in, that I'm wasting my time, because I think it's a really nice investment for my small library of, you know, knitting patterns. And I really like the interpretation series, and the quality and the pictures and the patterns are always really cute and nice. So thank you Jorge and Vera and Pom Pom Quarterly for making this. Also, I'm not sponsored by any way by any of those people to talk about this in a high, you know, it's just my opinion, and I really like it. And I also really love the paper. Yes, and you know, good paper is really sexy. Ooh. That's my tactile freak, you know, I like to touch nice and soft fabrics and stuff. So that's it guys, I don't have anything else to really say or share. I hope you're good, you're doing well. If you go to the website, you will find pre-orders for the separate ways, because you asked me to do, and I put different kits together, different colors for you to pre-order. And it will be the last time that you will have my Hera High Twisted in 366 meters. It will go to 325 meters after those kits. So it will be a heavier fingering or light sport, if you want to call that like that. And there will be also the Ornament Shawl, my collaboration with Leslie Robinson, aka Knit Graffiti, this week as well. So I think the pre-orders are up until the 25th of January for both projects, and then you'll have to give me a bit of time to gather all the things, make them and ship them to you. And if you're joining Knit Graffiti's Leslie's course about brioche, I'll make sure you'll have your yarn before she starts the course, so you can follow and have all the tips and someone you know, next to you while you're making your shawl and your steps into brioche, if you're a beginner or not. So thank you a lot for watching, for being here, for supporting me, and don't forget, color is power, fiber is our weapon.